In years 12 and 13 French, we follow the AQS syllabus, in which we develop your knowledge and understanding of French as a language from the grammar and vocabulary, lexical points of view. But also we develop understanding of French and the Francophone cultures from around the world. We have the opportunity to do this through news, current issues in contemporary society, but also through film and literature, so developing our cultural knowledge. In this PowerPoint, I'll give you a little explanation as to how the French course runs over the 2 years and how it is examined. But first of all, why study a language? Well, it's an interesting and varied academic course. It offers a broad range of knowledge to do with French culture, as well as grammatical knowledge to help improve your understanding of our own mother tongues. It also offers transferable skills that are so important at university and indeed in your future career. You will learn, as I've mentioned, about culture, politics, history, geography, literature, society, the environment, and lifestyle, which allows us to appreciate the nurture and diversity of different cultures and people. Languages are key to the exciting and very competitive multinational world in which we live. With a diverse cultural heritage and varied history, France has been hugely influential in the shaping of the modern world and is spoken in around 29 countries as a first language. As a major economic and political force, a knowledge of French can open doors in the world of business and politics as well, like almost no other language can. A-level French is well regarded by universities because of the disciplines entailed and the skills developed, which are of course transferable. So which subjects can you combine with French? Well, at A-level French complements all subjects and it develops skills alongside the academic focus. So you're building the academic side of a subject alongside developing a skill. By the end of A-level French, you will be able to express yourself fluently and cope with living and working in a French-speaking country. In the past, students have gone on to study a whole host of different subjects, some of course language-based or linguistics-based. Others have gone on to study medicine, science, PPE, law, economics, business, journalism, or any of the arts and humanities courses. And what students find when they've got that A-level in French is when they can have a year in industry or a year abroad, or even a gap year before university, they spend some time in a French-speaking country, or they will be asked by their university to go and spend some time in a French-speaking country. Students with French A-level can apply to any of the institutions. We've had students who've gone and studied in France before, in Switzerland, and in, of course, the universities in the UK, such as Oxbridge and the Russell Group universities. You can combine language with any subject at university as a joint honours or a module, and you can even carry it on at French SOC, the French Society. Once you've learned one language at this level, it becomes so much easier to learn others. Once again, a really useful skill to be able to show future employers. So what do we study in A-level French? Well, we look at social issues and trends. You can see here on this slide subjects such as la famille, la cybersociété, le rôle du bénévolat, charity work and charity organizations, les aspects positifs d'une société diverse, quelle vie pour les marginalisés, comment on traite les criminels. So the idea of looking at how society works at the moment and what could be improved to make society an even better place, what is already going well. Then we look at the political and artistic cultures. So you can see there from art, poetry, architecture, to music, Francophone music, music from around the world, and of course cinema too. Then we look at a sort of slightly more political side, l'engagement politique, how people are engaged in politics. Manifestation et grève, France is, of course, well known for its demonstrations and strikes. And la politique et l'immigration, so politics and immigration as well. You'll see that all of the topics are relevant to today's society and the world that you are growing up into. 12, this is how we break down the topics. So these are the sorts of topics that you will study: changing nature of family, cyber society, place of voluntary work, cinema, music, and then heritage. And then in year 13, this is when we start to look at the slightly more detailed, more difficult topics to get into, but nonetheless incredibly relevant for the world in which we live. To really get to know a culture and a language and to understand the people who come from that culture, we need to look at literature and also a little bit of film. So we're really lucky in a level course that we get to study a novel. Now there are novels on the list, as you can see, from classics such as a Molière play to Voltaire's Candide, to much more modern day novels such as Kif Kif Demain or Nous et Moi. All of them treating themes, topics, issues relating to human society, to us as human beings, and issues we face. Of course, it's also an incredible achievement to read a novel in a foreign language. We also study a film, and in fact, film study will be quite a new skill for a lot of you. Again, you can see the list of films there. All brilliant films, and if we had a chance, we could watch all of them. But we will look to study one particular film for the exam. To an extent, you can influence the course here because we are very open to you suggesting the film or the novel that you would like to study. We'll talk to you about all of the different choices, and then we can decide as a group which ones we prefer. So how is French examined? Well, you'll imagine that the skills started at GCSE have to continue then into A-level because they're important parts of communication. So paper 1 is a listening, reading and writing paper. And you'll see that you do some listening practice, you'll do some reading, and then we do some translation, which is a new skill developed at A-level. This practices vocabulary and also grammar. Paper 2 is a written paper. So we have one essay in French about the film and one essay in French about the book. And the third and final paper, as it's called, is actually the speaking test. And this is particularly interesting to students. One of 4 themes is discussed. You have a stimulus presented to you and you talk about it with the teacher. The bit that students like the most, though, is definitely this individual research project. So the individual research project is something that you do for yourself. So you can imagine those transferable skills that you are gaining, that you are practicing by researching something for yourself in French. These are skills that you will take on to university and to future employers, of course. So there are 3 papers examined. So what do we do in A-level French lessons then? Well, it's important to say that actually no one French lesson looks the same as the next, because of the communication aspect and the versatile nature of French as a subject. We have lots of different skills to practice and to develop. And so we use a whole host of different activities, from vocab building things such as Quizlet and Kahoot, to authentic, up-to-date resources that we take from the press, from the news, blogs, clips, tweets, songs, all sorts of different things that we use in order to see how French is used, and then therefore in order to develop our French skills as well. We develop your independent researching skills, so we will help you to research, but then you must go away and do some research yourself, which is a really exciting thing to be able to do at this level, and something you will definitely do at university and in your future careers. Similarly, essay writing is a really important skill that we develop, and that goes particularly with those students who are studying the sciences where essay writing isn't quite as prevalent. It is important to keep that skill going and be able to present your ideas in the written form, and so it's a really useful skill we keep working on. Oral presentations and debates, well, of course, spoken language is what we really want to practice. We use games and, of course, exam practice work. There is an opportunity to go on a trip to France. Paris and Rouen we have been to in the past, and as soon as we can get travelling again, we will get something organised there. We have taken students to the cinema and to the theatre in the UK to see anything we think is relevant and useful. And we do have a link with the Alliance Française, so we do sometimes go along to some of their talks as well. Plus, you get one of your lessons a week with Madame Weller, who is our French assistante. If you do have any questions, please ask your French teacher. Or, of course, you can ask some students who are currently studying French at A-level. Should you wish to get in contact with me, I am Mrs. Lunardi, and my email is on the screen. There is also some information on iFox. So if you go onto the iFox page, you can find out the information under the heading AQA French 2020. Merci et à bientôt. Before I do leave you though, I'm just going to put another slide on the screen, which is a quote from a student, from a recent student, and I'll just leave you to read what that student says about studying a language.